This is a song Teresa and I recorded with Levon Helm. I wrote this tune with Levon, and there's an asterisk above that because it was an interesting experience writing with Levon. You know, Levon had a certain bitterness in him about all those years in the band, and where he felt like he didn't get songwriting credit, and I've written a few things with him, and I sort of I got an interesting insight into that, where when you write with Levon, he wasn't going to do anything that involved labor, you know. But as an inspiration and as a sort of a muse, he was irreplaceable. You know, the guy. This song is about. I got the idea for this song. You know, Teresa's from West Tennessee, and it's a tiny little farming town out there, and I heard stories about farmers down there. You can't have a small farm out there anymore and survive, and you know, it's all been taken over by a huge industry. And a few of these old, you know, extreme right-wing conservative, traditional American farmers out there, in order not to lose their land and still, because the land was the most important thing, it's been in their family for generations, they started growing weed. And I thought this was really interesting, that these guys who otherwise would, you know, I mean, that's not something to do when you go to church every day, you know, and these guys, rather than lose their land and deal with that, this was their only way to survive. I thought that was interesting, and so I started writing this song. It was coming along okay, and then I sat and talked with Levon for a few hours, and he comes from this, you know, and just having that conversation with him made this song much better. And he, you know, just by kicking around the subject matter, and I always believed that this is what happened with some of these great band songs, that, you know, a lot of them were a lot of the lyrics that Robbie sat down with a pen and paper and wrote, you know, wouldn't be those lyrics if it hadn't been for Levon's influence. So that, I think, was Levon's. Well, his side of the argument was that that he got screwed, you know. But I don't know that that's necessarily true. But from having these experiences with him, I think his influence on those songs is undeniable. And anyway, so the title of this song is, I met a guy in San Francisco up there in Humboldt and asked him what he did for a living. Somehow we got in that conversation. He said, well, I guess you could say I'm in the growing trade. So that's the name of this song. It's called The Growing Trade. I worked the land to raise a family till I was weary to the bone. But hard labor never troubled me, but it's all I've ever known. Too many seasons of calamity and too much interest on the loan. I'm half the size I used to be, half of that is stone. The crops ain't worth the seeding, 10 will only get you 5. The livestock I'm feeding, I can hardly keep alive. I got to do what I can to survive. I know the law won't be forgiven, but that'll be the choice I made. I used to farm for a living, now I'm in the growing trade. summer beauty of the cotton fields was like a view from heaven's door. My granddaddy said harvest time was what the good Lord made us for. I guess he'd wonder, where's the dignity in a weed you raised to burn? But his land is my legacy, got nowhere else to turn. A shotgun on my shoulder, where a toe sack ought to be. The thieves are getting bolder, and the feds may be wise to me. I got to quit this eventually. I know the law won't be forgiven. That'll be the choice I made. I used to farm for a living. Now I'm in the growing trade. Helicopters in the distance, coming closer every day. They're gonna meet resistance, ain't no price too big to pay. There won't be any difference if they take it all away. Between a cot in the jailhouse and a bed beneath the clay, I guess there's nothing to do now but pray. I know the law won't be forgiven. That'll be the choice I made. I used to farm for a living. Now I'm in the growing trade. I used to farm for a living. Now I'm in the growing